Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this edition of the weekly video markets update. And I hope that you guys also staying safe amid the widespread globally of the new variant of COVID-19, or what they call it, Omicron. Today's video will be also the last video of this year, 2021, but this time we will be talking about something called the seasonality chart and how we can use it in our trading over the next few days, which may also land us some profits or profitable trades like the ones that we had over the past few live sessions or live streaming sessions. And here also I would like to thank you all for attending these sessions, whether the ones on via Zoom or the one on also YouTube over the past week, and congratulate you also on your profits, especially those who managed to hold their trades for a few days. But bear with me for the time being, as we'll be back after a short commercial break. So it's the end of the year, and it is not like any year, of course. It comes with fears of the new variant of COVID-19, or as they call it, Omicron. While the Christmas season is now officially canceled in some countries, especially in Europe, or some countries in Europe. However, markets are still working, and volatility is here to stay and remains high, and likely to remain high as long as COVID fears is here to stay. And this is what we always like. At the same time, higher volatility, which will also brings a new opportunity. For the past few days, I've sent out multiple signals for FBS clients through our written daily reports, and you can check these out only if you are a client at FBS. And if you haven't, or if you're a client at FBS and you haven't received that email, contact your account manager and ask about these written reports. Now, as we approach the end of the year, there might be also, or it might be wise, to check something called the seasonality chart. And if you are not familiar with what is it called, the seasonality chart, here it is. Now, I know that might be a little bit confusing, or you are actually might be confused, but this is not rocket science. This is also used in trading, and used also for trading. And to make things also even easier or less complicated, let me put something else on the screen. This is called the Seasonality Table, and I think this is also less complicated, or maybe easier to look at than the previous chart, or easier than looking at multiple line charts at the same time. So this is what we call it, the seasonality table, or the seasonality chart. And a seasonal chart shows the tendencies of an asset or an index to move higher, lower, or the peak or the bottom at a certain points during the year, instead of looking at 15 years of data in one chart, or as they call it also, chronological order. But what if we take a look, instead of 15 years, what if we take a look for 1 year period from January to December and printed it on a transparent slide? That might be a little bit easier, a little bit more confusing, but an even better, or much better, easier. Let's compare how an index or an asset performed last year during a certain month. In this example, we'll be talking about the US dollar index, and we will look at how did it perform the past 7 years, but during the month of December. And during the month of December, at least for the seasonality table or the seasonality chart, it favors a lower US dollar, which has declined in 5 of the past 7 years, meaning that the US dollar has a higher chance of closing December's trading lower than closing it higher. And at the same time, if we look now just at the US dollar monthly chart, we can see that it's already slightly higher above its moving averages. Yes, that's right, but remains slightly higher and the opening price for December was 95.93, which is not far away from at least today's closing price. Over the next few days, we will probably see an increase in FX volatility as a lot of financial institutions needs to close their books, and some hedge funds needs to also balance their portfolios ahead of the New Year's and ahead of the holiday season. Now, you might ask at the same at the same time, or the question is, how can I benefit from such information? And the answer is very simple. If you have a high probability or high probability for the US dollar to go down, because it did decline 5 Decembers over the past 7 years, this means that you can actually use this to sell the US dollar against multiple currencies and assets such as gold, silver, crude oil, and other assets. But this is one of the reasons why we sent out signals to FBS clients over the past few days to long the British pound against the US dollar. We also went long the euro against the US dollar, and also the Aussie dollar in our yesterday's or earlier this week written reports. At the same time, if the technical picture or your technical analysis, if it does actually support the same idea, that would be another plus to your trading. Meaning, if the seasonality is favoring lower US dollar, and let's say the Kiwi dollar technical outlook is bullish, that might be actually a good opportunity to risk ahead of the year end, especially by using tight stops in the next few days. It did work for us, at least for the past few days, when it comes to the euro, when it comes to the British pound, and even the Aussie, and even for silver. But while we are actually looking for some possible positions on crude oil in the next few hours, and once we do so, we will definitely let you know through our written reports or even on our private Telegram channel. And this is also not about December. This is also, you can use this for the months ahead. And looking back, when we talk about just not only December, we're talking about January, and this is when you keep looking and keep watching for some interesting spots. Looking at January, and when you spot something very interesting, let's say here when it comes to the month of August, it is also the same for the past five or the past 7 years. 5 years, the US dollar index went up against the basket of currencies. And if you spot something interesting and it also support your technical analysis, that would add more confidence to your trade, or at least it might have a higher probability for or to be a profitable trade. This is it for this video, and I wanted to be very short and very straightforward to the point, but try and spot these kind of moves over the next few days, and leave your comments also in the leave your comments or even your feedback or your questions in the comment section below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And I would like also to wish you all happy holidays and happy New Year's in advance. Stay safe and stay tuned, as we will have a busy January with multiple live trading sessions via Zoom and also via YouTube. And we're actually looking for a possibility to start streaming through a Twitch website. Thank you all again for watching these videos throughout the year and the past 2 years at least. I hope that they were at least informative enough, and I hope that your trading became much better by watching these videos. I'll see you once again next time. Have a great day ahead.